Okay then. Nice to meet you all. It's a really fantastic opportunity to connect with this topic. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Lars. I'm the network lead at Fab City. And if you haven't heard of Fab City before, we are a global distributed movement, rethinking the relationship between what we produce and where we live. So at Fab City, we believe that places, whether it's a neighborhood or entire region, can be more than just consumers of products and generators of waste. They can actually become centers of creativity, production, and resilience. So what we do is to support people to prototype more localized, open source, and regenerative ways of living and making. We do this through learning programs, research. We have hands-on initiatives that build skills and production capacity at a local level. So we're not doing this alone. It's very important to say. This work is supported by a global network of fab labs, designers, engineers, and policymakers across 56 cities. So together we're working towards a shared goal, which is that cities can produce almost anything that they consume locally by 2054. So this is our big aim, and today we have a fantastic example of this in action. I'd like to introduce Sara Diaz, the founder of HILO Textiles. And HILO Textiles are a Berlin-based interdisciplinary design studio that focuses on textile innovation through open source hardware, sustainable recycling, and digital spinning technology. You'll hear more from Sarah with some fantastic examples. They've been doing a lot of innovative work around spinning machine, which an open source digital spinning machine developed enables the creation of customized yarn from textile waste and I believe local wool and regional materials. And this project, of course, is rooted again in sustainability and circularity, which is all about promoting decentralized textile production through open source hardware and software. So we're really excited today to host Sarah. And you can talk us through, Sarah, some of the partners you work with. I know Design Farm Berlin and Fab Lab Barcelona at different points. So thank you for joining. We will go through different sections today. It's going to be interactive, so you can always take part in the discussions, of course. We're going to hear from Sarah's story from material to a city. We'll have reflection on material journey and a deep dive into HILO textiles. And then we will have a challenge to repair the system, which is where you'll get a chance to get involved. So to start off with, because I don't like one person speaking and everybody listening, I like it to be really interactive. I'm going to ask you all a question. So I want you to look at what you're wearing today. Look down. There's lots of cameras off, so I can't see what you're wearing. I presume you're wearing something, hopefully. Um, I would like you to think about how do you think it was made? So, for example, I'm wearing this cardigan here from a vintage shop and t-shirt. How do you think it was made? Does anyone have any ideas? Knitting, okay. We've got some knitting going on here. Anybody else have any idea how what you are wearing right now is made? Sewn in China, okay. I have no idea. Mix of material, I guess. A bunch of animal skin and hair. Oh, interesting. Weaving jeans, probably an industrial knitting machine. Mine is also secondhand. Fantastic. Flat knit and linked in Mongolia. Oh, very interesting group of people here. Leather and wool, Adidas pullover, I guess sewn in doubtful conditions. Very honest on there. Industrial jersey knit, pants made on a hand loom woven from Kerala, India. Amazing. Wow. Fantastic. Knitted mohair. Cool. Pattern pants, cotton cartons sewn in Portugal. Okay. Wow. So we've traveled the world just with your outfit. I think this is a fantastic point, Sarah, to hand over to you. You can take us through your fantastic journey, and thank you again for joining. So I hand the imaginary microphone to you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Yes,
Yes,
right?
perfect.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I see very familiar faces in this round, which is very nice. Um, I guess in our field, at the end, we are the yeah, similar rounds and always kind of like the same people. And it's very nice, especially to say hello to Lotozero, Tessa. That's nice to see you here. You know everything about HILO, but it's nice that you joined the call and this expert talk. And yes, we just, I mean, all of you just give amazing answers. So I guess you all are familiar with textiles and how textiles are made. And for today, I just prepared a presentation and basically what I would like to just share within this group and community with you guys, Fab City, is we all know the problems in the textile industry. I mean, the textile production is one of the biggest industries worldwide. I think it's the third one, and create a lot of pollution, and it's a huge problem. And sometimes it's very difficult to just kind of like do something about it and try to be positive and create solutions. And within this motivation, we started the first project, now company of HILO Textiles. And I'm going to guide you through the presentation and ask you some questions, if it's okay for you guys. I have here in the chat. Yes, great. Uh, so Um, I'm going to, oops. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Is the other one that you are?
I can
Oh,
just see you. Yeah. Let me see. I've enabled it for you.
mhm. I don't know how to do it.
Ah, yeah. Now it's loading. Perfect.
Now it's loading?
Yeah. You just press present, and we should be. Yes. Perfect. Thank you.
Fantastic. I don't see you. Show me the-
We're still here. Don't worry. It's a bit strange. It takes over your screen, but we're still here.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's fine. Oopsie. Oy. Yeah, perfect. So what I was saying is like I'm going just to share with you guys our experience and our motivation working with open source tools, of course, but mostly focusing on urban and small scale manufacturing. Because we work hand in hand with different labs in Europe, but also outside Europe, where they build our machines, place them in order to process local materials, and kind of like enable this local and urban manufacturing. But we work as well with farmers and shepherds that actually produce fibers to be able to produce like a process their own materials. This is kind of like the communities that we work with, and actually our goal is kind of like to develop these tools for small manufacturing. Why do we start like work with that? What I was saying before is like I mean, the textile industry and landscape is just massive, huge, unreachable. It depends if you have a direct, like a contact directly with the industry. Sometimes they're more flexible, especially nowadays here in Europe. Great example. Maybe you, Tessa, can tell us something about that later. One example is, of course, Lotozero in Prato, where they have the best neighbors ever. So the textile industry, the Italian textile industry, but normally we just export, send like yeah, kind of like destroyed our textile industry here in Europe, and now it's really far away, and it's part of like a massive logistic system in which suppliers, the supplier chain is high complex. I think there is also an expert in the room of supply chains. So maybe she can also tell us about that later. And so the landscape is way too complicated. And sometimes, of course, for me as a designer, overwhelming. I don't know how to start. And this is one on one hand, this infrastructure is mostly inaccessible for small scale producers or researchers or designers. And you don't have access to these machines. They are high complex, they run always in the same speed and produce always the same yarns in order to make it profitable. No, it's everything just focus on mass production. And the other big problem, I don't know, maybe you, if you know this problem in your cities or in your areas, maybe you can also share it with us. After the 10 years working in the field of textile manufacturing, especially yarn spinning, I spoke with many fiber producers, especially shippers, that they are very frustrated because they can't process their fibers. They have to burn them because there is no infrastructure to wash, process, and spin small scale of materials. All the industry, like the spinning mills, are huge. You need tons and tons of fibers in order to be able to spin the material. And this is a huge problem in Europe because I know this from Germany, Denmark, Sweden, but also Spain, France, Belgium, UK. All these communities, these countries have the same problem. We produce fibers that we have to burn, is waste. And it's our precious material that we are just throwing away, and we, instead of using it, we are just buying merino from very far away. I don't have anything against merino, but it doesn't make sense to burn our local material and buy a material that is really far away, produced in another country, another continent, and yeah, it's like a quite stupid, right? Do you know this problem? Did you hear about this problem before? Someone, I don't see the chat.
Feel free to unmute anytime anybody or put your hands
Yeah,
up
we
or
are not.
something. It's nice to get some feedback from you. That don't worry about unmuting.
Yeah, hi. I'm Liat. I'm actually met you a while back in Berlin. But anyways, thank you for having us here. But yeah, I actually haven't ever heard of spinners spinning their yarns, but then after having to burn it. So can you explain a little bit more about that process? I would really love to learn more.
So it's not that they spin their yarn, it's they don't have machines to process the wool. So they don't have washing, like a washing machine for wool or carding machine, small scale for wool. This is the problem. So, and they don't know what to do with this material, with the wool. And I don't know in other countries, but especially in Germany, if they have to pay a lot of taxes to just get throw it away, because it's animal waste and goes in like a very complex regulations, and at the end they have to pay money to throw it away. So quick solution for a lot of them is even throw it in a landfill, or I see in the Netherlands is as well the same problem. So, and either you throw it away in a landfill as a like a how do you say tuna, like for the soil, or you just burn it. This is the problem, Annie. I think it was Annie, right? And I see in the Netherlands, France as well. So in Europe, it's very common. And actually, I have a couple of partners in yeah, exactly. In the US, that they have exactly the same problem. So it's this a global issue. Yeah, exactly. So as you say, Liat, our motivation, what we actually are like seeing every time is that there is a huge need for networking between us, the cities, the maker, like fab cities, makers, and fab labs, creative spaces, and the shippers. So we have to kind of like connect each other. And this is actually, then you have a lot of also information. You're saying it's that like 1.65 million kilos is produced and there are only 0.2 is locally used. Disaster, really disaster. And we are in a time where we really have to, for many reasons, geopolitics, ecological reasons, and so on, and fair labor. We have to bring everything closer to us in order to be able to make sure that the production is fair and we're using the resources that we have. So I'm going to come to continue with the presentation, if it's okay for you, and jump into the next step, which is, my God, this is a huge problem. What can we do? Because we can do something, right? So in HILO, or actually our vision and aim since the beginning is give access to technology to everyone. So we create textile tools for independent and decentralized production. It means we want to, with our tools, we want to give the opportunity to everyone willing to do work with yarn spinning to be able to set up quickly a manufacturing infrastructure. So the idea behind this vision and actually how it looks like is this life cycle, HILO life cycle, we call it. So with open source methods like and platforms and tools like using Arduino and using also we use as well processing, and we also collaborate very strong with Open Source Ecology Germany, so a great national group for open source hardware. So we started to connect with the open source community and using their platforms to create this life cycle. And it's everything open source. So first we create the software, a tool that helps us to control the production and define the yarn qualities to be able to be flexible, because this is exactly what the industry can't do, and we are able to do that. And I think it's very important to be to adjust the technology to the materials and the communities, and not all the way around. That the locals has to, or like the producer has to adjust to the technologies or machines. Then we developed the open source HILO spinning machine, small scale spinning tool to process digitally, like with the software yarn. It's the production is on demand, so you can produce exactly the yarn that you want to with the material that you decided, your local material. Then you create your yarn, and with the structure qualities that you want to process it into textiles, knitted or woven textiles. Maybe you make your products. Regarding the products, textile is not only garments. Textiles are everywhere. Textiles can be applied in, of course, interior, in furniture, but also in cars and trains, architecture, airplanes. So we find textiles everywhere. So the possibility to develop your own textiles and kind of like a control and own in-house textile production gives you access to very different fields, and you can create an impact in many different fields, as I said. So it's not only for fashion, it's for way more than that. And after the production, there's always waste when you create something, cutouts, leftovers, or whatever, or like a material that at the end you didn't use, and you can like idea that we have, and our vision is then to be able to recycle the material and fit it into the next production. So this is our goal and our vision behind the tools, of course. And these are the machines that we develop till today. We go from low technology to more complex technologies. The first one is the e-spinner. This is a spinning machine that allows you to spin fibers by hand. It's like the first touch point with the technique, with the craft. But in order to make it a little bit more easier, this is a great tool, for example, also to kind of like invite kids to spin and to try out, or students, and you spin by hand, but there is a tiny motor that runs the machine. The next step is the digital HILO spinning machine, in which you can really produce bigger quantities and more stable or even yarns. So this machine is really focused on small scale production. For these two machines, there is a documentation online. You can download the files and print the parts and build it yourself and start working with
Sara, how
spinning.
easy is it to kind of actually use it once you built it? You download the files and built it. Is it something that's fairly simple for people to use that have never done it before, or you need some experience?
I mean, for hand spinning, you have to dedicate time to learn how
Yeah.
to do it. Because at the beginning, like every technique, for example, I'm so bad with uh, crochet.
Oh yeah.
But you have to dedicate a little time, and then you understand, and then you can just like develop your skills. I always recommend first to learn to spin by hand with the hand spinning machine, and then jump into the more advanced,
Okay.
because then you understand way faster how it works.
Just out of interest, can people put a thumbs up in here if they know how to hand spin? Just I would love to know if anybody already has that skill. I certainly don't. I can make many things, but does anybody know how to hand spin? Put your thumbs up. No, I got a nope.
Nope.
Novice in hand spinning. Okay. Definitely need a class
Okay.
on that. Yeah, that's something I was thinking. Yeah. We've got a yes from Enrique. Cool.
Mareike, of course. Mareike Pitting was the first person building the very first prototype of the
Oh,
hilo spinning machine.
fantastic.
Really nice to
Fantastic.
have you here, Mareike. So nice.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, potential class in that for sure. Okay, thank you.
But actually, I have to say, it's very common that even textile designer, people like well, textile engineers, designers, we don't learn how to spin. We learn all the basics, and I had that in my school here in Berlin at the university. We learned like the theory and how it works, and this like a very complex machine that no one understood, like diagrams of industrial machines, and it was like done. Um, exactly. I see Liat true. We also didn't learn. So it's really a missing point, not only for regular citizens, but also for us as experts. And I took this as a challenge to change it. And because it's essential, and fibers is our raw material. It's like clay for I don't know, sculptures, or if you are working with ceramics. So it doesn't make sense for me, at least. And it's very nice, and it's a wonderful technique, and it's actually a part of our culture. And it's an aspect that it's gone, and we don't appreciate enough or we don't give enough credit in schools and teaching system, libraries. I don't know if it's someone here from Megatech, um, to really show this part of our culture, because every country has different techniques, textile techniques, different type of yarns, and this belongs to us as society. And if we know that better and have a better understanding about textiles and raw materials, then we, of course, as a consumers, can make better decisions. So, and it's also this nice idea. This is something that I really like, also putting the machines in place like Lotto Zero or different labs within Europe, is actually to transfer the consumers into producers. No? This idea of be also involved in the development, not only in the consuming part of it. So, well, continuing, if you have any questions, just interrupt me, no? This, please feel free. So to finish the tools that we developed, we have also the textile recycling machine, which is a combination of shredding old textiles and waste with carding. Carding is a process that you have to do in order to comb the fibers and align them to get in the same direction to be able to spin them. It's like a process, like a yeah, kind of like a step that is necessary for spinning. And the last one is drafting. So you prepare the fibers in this long bands to be able to put it in the spinning machine. And mostly the core of our work is actually that, as we hear, like a co-create this innovation. Very important also that difference as from industry is that we really work together with our communities, like with our users. Actually, I am the main user of all the machines because I love spinning, I love textiles. I'm a designer, I create, I weave, I knit, so I need this machine. And this is actually people like me or like yeah, shepherds. We always kind of invite them to the development to be able to create easy to use, easy to build tools that are meaningful and also flexible and can adjust to different needs.
I think you also have a question in the chat about this specific. I would, from Eric, I would be interested to know the ROI. Do you guys do several simulations considering also the cost of the machines?
Can you? I'm gonna.
Sorry. Oh, Eric said, yeah, would be interested to know the ROI. Did you guys do several simulations considering also the costs of the machines?
You mean simulations in terms of trials, iterations, Eric?
Eric, are you? Yeah, I think that's how I would take it, like different prototypes or.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just to know, like, I understand that there are some machines basically, and that the idea would be to decentralize. So it means that basically the person would have to maybe buy or rent this machine. So just in terms of costs, just to know, like, is
No.
it going? How big is this? How many, depending on which yards and which garments, then how profitable would that be also for the person? Just to have this financial perspective also.
I understand now. So, as open source company or open source products, let's say, you can download yourself the information and then you buy the materials and do the assembly, the 3D printing, and then you have the machine. If you make this process by yourself, the costs of the machine, it's, I don't know, around, including, depending if you own a 3D printer or not. But if you don't own it, around 800 to 800 euros, including electronics. Very manageable compared to 1 million for a spinning machine or 500,000, the small ones. So huge difference. So this is the costs and investment that you have to do in order to set one machine. Of course, we know our community, and they are not builders or makers in terms of like a kind of familiar with digital manufacturing and so on. So that's why we offer the machine already built and as a kit. So you can just purchase the parts from us and build it yourself, or we send it already built. Yeah, okay. So maybe one of you, maybe Mareike or Tessa, can share also the experience working with the machine. So that is really a tool that is open enough to be able to understand it, even if you don't have a textile background. And this is actually the goal of HILO, all the machines that we develop. And I think also for the idea of urban manufacturing. And so that the touch point is quite easy, and it's like easy to jump into this world, and it's not, and you kind of like intuitively, you can just start the process. Otherwise, it's quite difficult to engage our local communities, our neighborhoods to produce their own textile, or maybe recycle their own textiles or clothing. So, if there's no more questions, I continue with some examples. What can we do with these things? Because, okay, open source, easy to build. They look, in my opinion, very cute, but what can we do with this? And I'm going to show you a couple of examples that we, case studies that we ran the last years. And kind of like to show you the possibilities and flexibility of the tools. And also to maybe just like I don't know, open new fields for you, maybe if you are interested in the textile field. So I guess some of you know already this case study. Can you see me? I don't know if you can
Yes,
see me.
yeah. We can see your
Yes.
screen on your
Perfect. Perfect. So with our machine, we develop a yarn. Well, we work since many years with over twisted yarn. So meaning if you over twist, like a spin very intensively wool, it becomes stretchable. And we collaborate with STEM, a fashion label from Denmark, and Stockholm, no, not Stockholm, where is it? Copenhagen, sorry, Copenhagen, in which she wanted to develop a collection 100% wool, meaning all the pieces were woven in looms in Copenhagen, and she wanted to have like a kete, warp and weft, 100% wool. So no polyester, no elastan, no nothing, like 100% wool. And in order to make it stretchable, she came to us, approached us to see if we could develop the yarns for her. So we got access to dead stock yarns from a knitting company, sorry, here, it was in Germany. And so we kind of like re-engineered the yarn for her collections. So if you over twist the yarns, as you see, I don't know if you can see me, the wool turns high stretchable. So we integrated, like we use these yarns into her garments and pieces. And as you see here, we have the fabric in tension and relax, and you see the effect. This sample is now, I think, at least 3 years old and still high stretchable. And so it doesn't lose the function. And this is an aspect that you can only do it if you have access to the technology and the infrastructure. So at the end, we developed the whole yarns for this collection for the Fashion Week. And now she's able to actually scale it up. And with the samples that we did, she showed them to the industry, and now it's being produced in Prato at industrial level. So we developed the whole, actually we created the whole R&D, made the whole R&D here in-house in Berlin, make the production for the first collection, and then now she's able to cooperate with the industry and bring this innovation to the industrial level, which is actually great. And normally innovation works all the way around. So the industry decided and then give it to consumers or us designers or makers. Another nice example is this piece that we did for Goran Sifmovsky. He is a knit designer based in Berlin. And he owned a stall knitting machine. I guess some of you know this type of machine, like an industrial knitting machine, is placed in his basement. Huge thing, and it's really interesting to see that there is actually some people owning industrial machine within the city. So what we did is he came to us asking if we could recycle his waste yarns from knitting and create this one piece. So we kind of like created like a connection between these two manufacturing environments, spaces, in order to create a new, kind of like a recycle waste and make this textile, as you see here. So this is the process of recycling. And interesting, or I think actually, where I think is very,
Wow, it's amazingly fast, isn't it?
well, and in that case, it's slow. We
Oh,
can
really?
run way
I'm
faster.
even more impressed.
That's great. And what I wanted to say in this case, we kind of like connect these urban infrastructures, you know? And since then, we are collaborating every once in a while. So we know from each other. And if someone is asking about yarns, he sent us this person to us, and about knitting. Again, he's running workshops sometimes, or like events here. So we have a strong connection, and I think this is essential for a fab city, or the idea of a city that fabricates their own products, to have a strong network. So you don't have to own the whole machines, but you need to know where the machines are in order to use this in local infrastructures in a more efficient and sustainable way. And maybe the last example that I brought today is a collaboration with New Order of Fashion. I wanted to show you this example or this collaboration because this is a lab, a fashion lab based in Eindhoven. Maybe some of you guys know this place, this lab, and
Dan, I
I
was
really
waiting.
say it again.
I'm Dan in Eindhoven right now, right, Dan?
I am.
There we
And they're
go.
amazing. We work with them a lot.
You are there now?
I'm in Eindhoven, yes, not in New Order of Fashion, but I
Okay.
am in
But you
Eindhoven.
know about them, right?
For sure, for
For
sure.
sure. They are just great. And I really like the way they understand fashion, which is very holistic. So from fiber to yarn to surface to garment. So we are collaborating now since many years, and they have, of course, the spinning and drafting machine, and also Poliana working there as a fiber expert. She's one of the researchers and lab manager there. And then we have this collaboration in which we invited this fiber producer in order to European Spinning Group, in order to kind of like process their recycled fibers in new ways, and kind of like expand their product portfolio and open up different ideas and inputs. So we created this collection of yarns, small swatches, samples, in which we brought our passion to fancy yarns. We call it fancy yarns, which are yarns very three-dimensional, not common for recycle. As you don't use recycled fibers with these yarns, and we wanted to actually bring this new idea to the company and kind of like create this very high quality, very structured yarns in order to expand actually their mindset, but also portfolio. And we did this everything locally as well in the Eindhoven and also here in Berlin. We can like a co-prototype in 2 locations. And this is something that actually these platforms, these spaces like Fab Labs and also maker spaces, textile spaces can bring you. So you produce locally, but you are connected globally. So you can really remote exchange recipes, learnings, and also failures, and create like more this global network. And this is actually the core of open source philosophy, and really the core vision and mission of open source, which is exactly that. So adjust your tools, your technologies locally, but stay connected globally. So if you want to join our community, contact us. There is some, our Instagram website and email. If you have questions now, of course, let me know, or we can discuss now. But maybe in a couple of days, if something, I don't know, you have a question or something came up or an idea, I'm always happy to have a chat with you, or maybe collaboration, or I don't know, if you want to visit us, we'll be happy to have you here. And this is my presentation. I don't know, you have questions or?
Fantastic. If anyone has any questions, we were going to do a kind of activity that kind of makes you as an audience urban designers. But before we jump into that, are there any questions that you would like to directly ask Sara while you have the opportunity just now? Thank you so much for the presentation, Sara. Anybody brave enough for any questions? Annie, what about the software? What does it make you? What does it make you allow you? What about the softwares? What does it make?
I can understand the question.
Or allow you, sorry.
So we have actually the machines here. The software, which is running on a small screen like that, allows you to run the machine in different speeds and basically speeds. It's very simple actually. In different speeds, so we can twist yarn or fibers in different qualities. So more, I have some jars hanging. Well, you don't see them, but it doesn't matter. You can just spin them more thin, suitable for industrial knitting machines, or thicker for jumpers knitting by hand, or like the range is endless. Only with this, there are 3 parameters, 3 motors that run the machine, feeding more or less fibers, and then you can just create different type of yarns. And the software is, of course, Arduino based. So you can, if you have an idea to hack it or you want to add anything or other aspects in the machine, you can definitely do it.
Very cool. Thank you. Any other questions before I propose a question to all of you? Yeah, could you share your email address to check
Yes,
with
of
you?
course.
Yes. We'd be happy to share some of our initiatives in Tanzania and the type of materials we're using, such as sisal and seaweed. Yes, go ahead. That would be great. Would you like
Yeah.
to share them now or across the email?
I can put the
Collaborate
email
together.
also
On
here.
the email, yeah. So we can collaborate together. Amazing.
That's
Cool.
amazing.
So in Tanzania, we have types of materials we're using, such as sisal and seaweed with our local community, converting them into fiber. Wow. I would love to see that too.
Wow.
Cool. Cool. Fantastic. We have a great community.
Let's talk.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. If we now have a magic wand and we turn all of the audience into urban designers, maybe some of you already are, I wanted to think about some of the ways in which I pose a scenario to you. So imagine your neighborhood wants to bring textile production back into the city. What would be the first step? So think about your neighborhoods. I am in Sant Andreu in Barcelona. Maybe you're in a different barrio in a different city. Try to think about what would be the first step if your neighborhood wants to bring back textile production into the city. Anybody got any ideas? If I start you off, for example, some of the things we have in Barcelona, we have a repair cafe where people can bring their clothes and we do visible mending. That's one way that textile production is accessible in my local neighborhood. Does anybody else have any other available already or any ideas of a first step or something you would love to see happen? Don't be afraid, unmute, go for it.
It looked like one of the problem is that, cotton and wool could be complicated to have in city. So
Mhm.
how do you find a new source of fiber? A little bit like the CMOS fiber. I find it super interesting. So what's the new pool of fiber that you can find in a city? Could you make it from, I don't know, old clothes? That's maybe the first baby step.
I love that. And it would be really
Mhm.
interesting to see how it's different in each area as well and what it comes from. It'd be a really nice project to map it.
Yes, actually, I think someone, let me see, spoke about Rachel. Exactly. There is an amazing initiative called 1 square meter linen, or in Germany, we have, I think it's Europe wide. So you can just order your 1 square meter linen and like a harvest it, like have it in your garden, in your park, and it's just like a small
Wow.
amount of you just need like a small piece of land, like a soil, maybe even in your balcony, and you can start growing your own fibers, which is a great opportunity to start like a actually yeah, growing your raw material. I know Mareike is also part of the German group of 1 square meter linen. Maybe you can also put Mareike the websites and the information in the chat because it's great.
Fantastic. One thing I've really enjoyed on this side as well, and I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's come, is how busy the chat has been throughout and how engaging it's been to see you all interacting with each other. So I really hope some of these connections continue afterwards. We have a couple more comments. Eric, again, thank you. To convince locals to relocalize, create awareness on the impact of current linear textile production systems, and work on the business case together with them. Love it. That's a really, really nice way to start. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Kirsten, we found that we have too many used textiles, which is overwhelming for secondhand stores. Tailors who offer alterations are often still found in urban neighborhoods. They could serve as a first point of contact for washing, repairing, or altering secondhand clothing. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a really interesting first step. These are both things that can 100% take action. Super cool. Okay, anybody else have any weird and wonderful ideas?
I saw
Oh, sorry.
Tessa, you go.
No, it's not a weird and wonderful idea, but we
That's
are
fine.
starting in the next, not even a year, micro factory just outside of Prato, where we will be doing the whole production we're growing our own fibers, colors.
Amazing.
We have the whole spinning setup, and then we have both the looms and the knitting. So we are trying to really recreate the whole supply chain from fiber to fabric to fashion then, and it's going to be done in 1 year. So I'm just announcing it. It's not so crazy, but we're gonna do it.
Amazing. That's fantastic. Really, really cool.
Amazing.
So if anyone wants to come and test things, hit me up.
Super. Tessa, is it possible you can put your email in the chat as well, if you don't mind, or a website, or the best way to contact you?
Maybe sounds a little bit crazy, but I went to Copenhagen actually this summer, and I met Charlotte from Fibershed, which is a network worldwide. I guess you know that from Fibershed, and they have in Copenhagen parks with sheep, alpacas, and she just got the fibers from them and then processed them with the HILO spinning machine. And I never saw something like this before, and it was so nice. So actually, you can have here in Berlin we have our small how do you say, like a zoos, like a small zoos with maybe like 2 ponies, 1 sheep, and 1 goat. So actually, there is also, we could also bring back to the city these micro farms for the
Absolutely.
kids would be, of course, amazing.
Yes, 100%. Fantastic. Okay, I think the future is suddenly more exciting than it was this morning. So thank you so much for your ideas. It's wonderful. Just to wrap it up, one of the lines that you said earlier, Sarah, was to produce locally, but obviously to connect globally. You used the word to remold ideas. I really like that, and to exchange learnings, but also very importantly to exchange failures, because I think that's something that people don't often do. I think it's a really important part of open source. And everybody today that gave all the ideas and throughout on the chat, I've seen a lot of potential here. So I really, really hope that this is kickstart some connections between those of you that have taken part. And please make sure before we also close the Zoom that if you have email addresses that you want to copy and paste that are in the chat, that you do so now. I'm not sure if I get to save the chat afterwards. So if there's anything in there that you would like, now's the chance to take note of them. I think there was a few websites and some email addresses as well. But on that note, if you don't manage to do so and you want to reach out to me afterwards and ask for contacts or any of the things we've spoken about, absolutely, I will provide that as well. And I would like to say again, a very big thank you to Sara. Thank you so much. Really, very inspiring today. And for everybody that took part. So a round of applause, please. Even if it's
Thank you
silent.
very much for the invitation. It was great.
Absolutely. And
Thank
it's
you
been
all.
recorded, so I will share with you all later as well, of those of you that missed out. And thank you so much, and have a happy Friday and a beautiful weekend to all of you. And take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ciao.
Thank you.
Pleasure.